Let's go get him again. Elite circle, third eye open, left hand holding, right hand smoking, flow still potent. Managed to score, yet I ain't open. Was on my beach chair, yeah, I ain't folding. Pardon my hiatus. It takes time when you live in life. In my mind, I'm preparing for greatness.
Welcome back, people. This is Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Prez, and with me always,
it's your boy Cash, aka Exec P. What's happening, good people? End of year wrap up, man. I'm ready, man. What's going on?
Yeah. Don't speed things up, man. Slow it down a little bit. We got new people here, right? These new people who just tuned in our channel, just finding out about us, just start downloading us on their podcast. Tell them who we are and what we're about, Cash.
All right. For the new people, welcome. For the reoccurring listeners, welcome back. We're back to the new people. If you're here for the first time, this is Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast, a podcast about music, sports, entertainment, culture. Each and every week, you catch us at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is what we're going to talk about: sports, music. We have artists on, we have producers on, we have people that are doing their thing as far as independence. When you're talking about just ownership, entrepreneurship, these are the type of things that we get into each and every week, and that's what you can look forward to. So if that's something that you guys rock with, make sure you tell a friend to tap in and Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast. But for this week, in these string of episodes that you're gonna get, this is our end of year hip-hop and R&B wrap-up. Just to give you guys a little backstory, for years and years, I've known this man, Prez, for quite some time. Let me hit myself with a solo real quick. I don't need his type of, hate.
You know he about to tell lies when he do this. Go ahead.
For years and years, I've kicked his ass in playlist battles or just putting people on. And that's kind of one of the little inklings of how we spawned into a podcast where we were sharing music with our friends and, just putting them on because they never really kept up with the culture. They got older, got wives, kids, soccer dads. They did
lazy.
That type of thing. Lazy ears.
Don't care about music no more.
The same way, you know what I mean? But it is. To each his own, right? So this is where we come in. We're here to restore the feeling, to give you that dope shit that's coming out in hip hop and R&B. For this specific episode, though, we sticking to our heart of hearts, man. Rap and hip hop, man. So you're going to get all types of lists. We got our top 10 best rap hip hop album or project, and we just gonna let it rip. These are just how we feel. Feel free to disagree. Make sure you disagree in the comments, whether we're on social media, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's where you're listening. Make sure if you say something that you disagree with, drop some albums, drop some artists, put us on. This is what this is. It's just the art of the put on. It ain't the art of being right. We'll argue with you because we love to talk music, but put us on to something. And if we left this person off your list, that person off your list, odds are we heard them. They just didn't make the cut. So that's where we at. Top 10, man. Rap album, hip hop project. Where do you want to begin, Press?
Let's start at number 10, man. I jump it off. I jump in.
All right, dive in there.
Number 10. It's going to be a controversial one, man, because I think a lot of people ain't going to agree, but it's my list. You know what? I'm put on what I listen to. And so my number 10 album was Pop Smoke, Faith. A lot of people probably did not like this, thinking too many features. I don't care about that. I love the J Electronica album, which was a co-conspirator album. If it's good music, it's good music. Sounds good sonically, everything. Like I'm gonna mess with it, right? And I think Pop, a lot of people try to sound like it, but don't sound like him. You know what I mean? He had that unique sound, and he kind of owned that little space. And didn't know I needed another album for it. This came out, and I liked everything about this album that was put together. Short little verse for him, and then have somebody else feature on it. But they found a way to make it fit in there. That's unlike the DMX album that we said came out posthumous, posthumous, my fault. I learned it. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, so but this one, man, it resonated, kept like some of the songs stayed in my constant playlist throughout the year. So standout ones, Television. You got the Chris Brown Woo Baby. You got the other one featuring Pusha T, Top Shotter. You got Manslaughter. Genius. Yeah, those was the ones like I'm just gonna jump off the top and just say, and yeah, good album. I know some people gonna say some different other things. I'm here for it, hear what you got to kick back, but I'm saying, did you like those songs? Was it good music? If you did, I don't get your complaint.
Yeah, this isn't anywhere close to my top 10. And again, like, it was a collection of songs. I think it was like kind of filler for me at the top of the year when a lot of stuff isn't necessarily coming out as far as from the big dogs or the people that we're looking forward to. But again, rest in peace to Pop Smoke. I remember it being good, from the time I listened. So it's a good listen. You know what I mean? It just didn't crack my top 10. So I could respect it. This is definitely out of left field. I must say this is definitely out of left field for you. You know what I mean?
I really liked it. It resonated. It stayed with me throughout the year. Like certain songs on here was constantly popping back up, and no matter what other playlists I went on, or if I hit shuffle, it kept coming back, and then I want to hear the album again in whole. So hey, that's kind of how it was for me. And I got nothing bad about this album to say. So when I go back and listen at it, I'm still like, if I wanted to list the top 10 of songs I want to listen to, albums I want to listen to this year, this would be one of them. Like I can't picture 21 without it.
That's why we put the list out there, man. I won't argue with you. I'm sure we'll argue pretty soon down here on this list. But for right now, I'll spare you with the arguments. For me at number 10, I got Larry June with Orange Print. I wanted to make my list very well versed in just different type of things that I'm listening to or whatever. And it doesn't always have to be lyrical. It could just be off the feeling. So much like you with the Pop Smoke or whatever. It's just like, Larry June, hey. He was just killing it, man. It's just a vibe, man. And I haven't felt like this about an artist that is not necessarily spitting lyrical miracle shit. You know what I'm saying? Press in your ear all the time since Wiz Khalifa. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what Larry June is rapping about. I just know he's super confident in what he's saying on Orange Print and then other projects. But Orange Print was the one where it brought it full circle to where I'd be like, I need to check him out, man. So some of the songs off there, Tangible Assets, Intercepted, 6 a.m. in Sausalito, Still Cooking. And then he also has one with Escrows and Orange Juice. So I just named you 4 or 5 joints off of there that I play religiously. It's just good ride music, and there's nothing like that, man. Like when you on a nice little road trip or you running errands and you just need some shit that just vibes you out, mellows you out, or whatever. And that's like different, especially if you like us and you really value lyrical miracle and guys just punchlines and doing different things like that. Often, while that is my core, my base, and what I like, I also like this type of shit too. I like to have a good album or two to go totally away from just being barred to death and just something that I can listen to for just the music and the vibes. So yeah, Larry June, Orange Print, shout out to Jay with Blueprint. So, dope things, man. I like what Larry June is doing and how he's elevated in 2021 and moving on in 2022. So yeah, check out that Orange Print.
Man, I tell you right off the jump, man, I think these first two albums kind of fit to our different personalities a little bit up and down because, I rock with Larry June, but him flowed up to like my top, and I'm saying you saying the same thing about Pop Smoke. Whereas the type of music that kind of lend towards like is a little bit more that type of sound. I mean, I was a heavy 50 fan for one thing, and then like the 50 influence
right,
for him, and then just his sound, like the sound kind of is different from everybody else. So that's what kind of gravitates towards me a little bit. So setting himself apart that way. And then you're saying the same thing about Larry June. You know what I mean? Just like not since Wiz Khalifa, yeah, you felt like somebody go into that lane. So
for sure, and it's always what we don't want to hear is what we want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to hear somebody that's different from the rest of the pack. You know what I mean? It's almost like when you get into that hip hop Twitter sphere to where you just listen to the same type of artists and you're following the same type of people that like the same type of artists. You never break away and go listen to something else that's dope too. You know what I mean? It don't always have to be just bar you to death. Sometimes you got to make good songs, and sometimes good songs went out over the bars.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing though. All right, that takes me to my number 9. We got JR.
Okay. All right.
JR. We got JR with Broken Knees. And I think we just spoke on this a little bit. You spoke on it. You had him in your top independent albums, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of differentiate a little bit. He's gonna be in my top list. I really like this album above all. Like when comparing it to everything else I listened to, it just stood out. Like it's one of those things that's like his rhyming scheme is just different. Just like when he comes in, it's relevant shit, you know what I mean? That just gonna grab you every time. The way he spits, you know what I mean? I think we had a couple people on there saying like, yeah, he takes it to another level on it. So that's kind of what I get on here, man. And yeah, you named some of the songs on there, and I think the songs that you kind of shied away from are the ones that I liked a little bit more: the Self Portrait, Empty Promises, Broken Knees, or Art Lessons. So
yeah, and I think I shied away from them because those was like the easy picks. I wanted to go for like stuff that I know is on its own, you know what I mean, where he was really spitting. Like I said, he did a lot of different flows, double time flows, experimented with beat switches, you know what I mean, with grips and Fabian and stuff like that. Like, so I like when people that we don't know as much, you know, you bring those tracks to life, because those features you expect them to be something. You expect the Elzai, you expect the Ransom and Mickey Fax feature to be dope, you know what I mean? Like, considering, you know, him being able to rap really well, you know what I mean? But the ones that really hold you, and you know what I'm saying, how we feel about albums, is the ones that hold you is when you can hold your own as an artist, and when we as fans can talk that shit. And you know how we had them conversations with no, you listen to this right now. You ain't hear about him? Go listen, you know what I mean? Like that's the type of conversations we have when it comes with JR. So yeah, that's why I shied away from those, man. But like, yeah, this whole project, man, not one weak song, even the songs that I don't play often off that project, like those are the ones you let rock because it's just that good. It's just that good.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, who you got for number 9? Number
nine. I got my man Wale with Forlorn 2. That Wale came with it, man. A lot of the old school relationship stuff, a lot of things he was talking about, I probably shouldn't even still be thinking about old relationships, but that's what music is about, man. It sparks old memories. It sparks old thoughts. It gives you old feelings, and it hits you right where it's supposed to hit you. And if you are a true music fan, you are not afraid to admit that. And when it does, and everything is, he's nailing it time and time again, you gotta show love to it. And that's all I've been playing since it came out. I think I played the joint Dearly Beloved with Jamie Foxx at least 5, 6, 7 times. Like that's one of my songs where I listen to daily, you know what I mean? And it's just because it's so real, it's short and to the point, and you know, it's almost unfinished, like a relationship that never really got to where it was gonna be, and you fucked it up, you know what I mean? In his case, he fucked it up, and it is what it is. You left to ask questions, you know, but some people don't bounce back from that. So I love that song. And you know, Tiffany Nikes, you know, back while they doing what he does, is making just one of them joints that bounce, man. And he could do whatever type of song you like. He can rap with the rappers. He can make something that got some bounce. He can introduce you to new ways or new type of go-go, whether it's old go-go or current go-go, and just he stays with the times of his city, man. So for me, for Lauren too, he outdid himself in terms of just the follow-up to a cult favorite in Lauren. You know what I mean? Like we love Lauren together, me and you. That's one of the guys that we always talk about behind the scenes, regardless of what he goes through and the ups and downs or wherever the industry ranks him. We rock with Wale. So that's my number 9, Lauren too. Y'all check that out, man. Whole joint top to bottom.
And that was like going to be the easy grab for me. It was going to be the easy grab for me. So I kind of like challenged myself a little bit. So I was like, hey, he really got to make sure that we stand out. So go review everything, come back to us. If you still feel like he's up in that list, and go ahead. And it kind of shifted a little bit, but he would definitely be in that honorable mention for me on there. But I know my bias towards it just would lean extremely heavy on that. So kind of left him out this time. So apologize for that, but definitely a good body of work.
All right, man, hit us off with
so that'd be taking number 8.
Yep, number 8.
Number 8.
Yes, sir.
Number 8, man. I'm gonna go with Luke Goldmouth. So not only is this an artist that I was like coming out of the J. Cole camp that I kind of like respected and like as was waiting for his project to come through, who he was teaming up with for production and actually executive produce, right?
Fonte, yeah.
Little brother teaming up with them, make sure his sequence. Yeah, but it was the both.
It was
teams.
little,
One of them worked on the sequence,
together.
and one of them was the executive producer. There's a little bit of both of them on it. I mean, even though they ain't say it's gonna say one thing, but I mean, they both had their little hands in it, and you can kind of tell just the way. I can say one of the things that Lil Brother does is just like, they make it completely like playable. Like whatever you listen to, it everything flows into a certain thing where you don't want to turn something off. You want to hear it in its entirety all the way through, and that's kind of what he did with this Luke Goldmouth, and for his debut product, man, like this. Man, it's up there for me, and this just constantly get replay value. It's just we turn into that DJ that we hate on the radio. You know what I mean? You just mentioned you play that song 5 times, and you know when back in the day when you listen to radio, you hate when they used to play like, didn't they just play this damn song? But we end up doing it to our damn selves, and that's when you know you really like something. When you really got something good, that's gonna make you forget the stuff that you hate. That type of getting something replay, but you just can't get enough of good music, right?
Yeah, man. I remember
and the ones that stand out on there would be
my bad. Go ahead.
The ones that kind of stand out for me on that was GD, of course. That was like the first single. Then you got Eye to Eye with Kaz. You got Ghetto Love with Ari Lennox, and then you got Flossing with West Side Boogie, and then Crashing at the end. So.
Yeah. So yeah, all of those that you mentioned are fire, man. This is very high up there on my albums of the year. It may not have made my top 10, but it was right on the outside looking in, just because of some of them songs that you talked about. I do go back to those songs, and the sequencing, like you said, Prez, is very important to that project because I liked it in terms of just that intro. Like we said, that intro has to resonate, it has to knock your socks off right at the beginning, and then he gets into GED, goes with an old familiar favorite. And then the rest is just seamless, man. He got Ari, and, you know, between Dreamville and having, you know, the home team of Little Brother and the OGs looking over it, like, how could this fail? And he brought the raps, he brought the emotion. He talked about his alcoholism. He talked about his depression. He brought that whole person to the forefront of this project. So I definitely rock with your pick, Prez, man. That's a dope pick. But as for me, man, when I talk about my number, I think I'm on number 7, right? I think I'm on number 7. Yep. I'm on number 8. My bad. I'm gonna go with Isaiah Rashad. The House is Burning, and the reason I go with this is I'm not one of the biggest Isaiah Rashad fans, right? And I don't say that to just throw shade on him or anything like that. I've always liked all of Isaiah's projects. And the thing with Isaiah, man, is just he's super dope, but I don't think I ever was in the pocket of what he was talking about at the time I was listening to it. It's not that I can't identify with his stuff. It's just I wasn't in the pocket. So in listening to this, I like an album that captures moods at all times. It captures me when I want to, have a little bit of up tempo. I'm gonna party. I'm gonna kick it. Go out with the fellas or the wife. We hit a little bar or something like that. Or I like it when you could get introspective. You could talk about your losses, your successes, and then you could also have a little bit of that ignorant shit. Because trust and believe, we all like a little bit of that ignorant shit when it comes to our music. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to say shit directly and not, navigate around it ever so slightly. So these are just some of the things that The House is Burning did for me. So I'll just go with like From the Garden featuring Lil Uzi Vert. That's a song that I didn't know I was going to like as much. Lay With You featuring Duke Deuce. That joint goes, man. Wherever I'm at, like I let that rock out, man, and that deuce dance, man. Like I always have that dance in my head as I listen to that song. And as you get deep into the album, that's where the cuts really start coming, the B-sides. So you have True Story, What You Said, and then you have Score, SZA, and Black. Like the jams are endless on this one. And, TDE and Isaiah, they really, really took their time with this project. And he made us wait for quite some time to get this. And for me, I think he catered to people that were fans and were rocking with him, but weren't quite bought in. He brought in new fans and kept his old fans. He didn't quite give his old fans, from what I'm hearing. You know what I mean? And I'll toss it to you in a second, Prez, to kind of speak on that. But, for me, this was my kind of jam. Just getting the right bits apart, from everything and just giving you a day in the life of Isaiah Rashad. So The House is Burning. That's my number 8, right? Yeah, 8.
Yeah, man. I wish I could point the finger at like what's wrong with this, why it's not resonating with me, but it's just not. It's a little bit off for me. It's not bad music, but I mean, it ain't nothing that I'm gonna. It's not in the top of my list at all, and I know some people feel totally different from that. So I respect their opinion because I know I was on that other side on his other albums, and that other people were just saying like, "Nah, it's not it," and now I'm on this side of it, and it's weird because like I really do like the artist, like his music, but just with this album, it just didn't hit it with me all the way. So still overall decent project. I just wouldn't put it in my top list at this point.
So who do you have at number 8 for you?
Number 8.
7. Sorry, number 7.
Number 7? Oh yeah. Okay. Number 7 would be Benny the Butcher, The Plugs I Met To.
All right, speak to me, man.
I think we spoke on this a little bit like at the beginning of the year, and it did not change at all. Like from the time when Tony Met Sosa, when that song comes on, man, I'm locked in all the way until the end of Thanksgiving when it goes out. Like he began and ended that project perfectly. Everything in between, the artists that he kind of worked with, some of the people I only must really listen to like that when they had the Fat Joe. So yeah, he must got me just messing with some of the people that I don't usually listen to. So overall, just him and Harry Fraud coming back for another project. I just think they're hitting it off of par. Don't really miss with Benny the Butcher. Is very rare. Man, I just want to keep that consistency going on these albums. And so far, you haven't let me down. So we're going to keep cracking the list. What more can you ask for? Somebody who will continue to give you that level on every project. Bam.
Number 7 for me, Lloyd Banks, The Course of the Inevitable. So
I I was wondering if you was gonna sneak it in. I'm laughing because we got an ongoing thing. I didn't think he was gonna do it. I'll tell you right now, on some of these platforms, this album has it has been taken off, like certain of them, right?
Yeah,
I ain't found on some of them.
Yeah, people talk about this album a lot, and I think because Lloyd Banks came out of nowhere with it. Number one, number two, it was really good lyrically to me and people that like it. This is where I got to take Prez off the screen because I don't even want to see his face at this point. Yo, man, like we was at odds about this album. Like I think this is like probably one of the maybe 3 or 4 albums throughout the year to where like I would tease him about it because, you know, we have our opinions. Like if we don't like some shit, we just gonna say we don't like some shit and we gonna triple, quadruple down on it no matter what anybody in the comments says, or no matter who contacts us personally and wants to really break down the album. Look, motherfucker, I don't like it. So that's kind of where Prez was with the album, you know, and this is probably one of our most not reviewed, but commented on. This is kind of like when we talk about Eminem. It was like almost crazy. Like you say something negative about Eminem and, you know, the views go crazy. You know what I mean? So, but I don't want to distract from Lloyd Banks' moment.
Tell us why you liked it and why you got it there. And then we can go into a further debate. Go ahead.
Because here's what I'll say about it. I'll address like some of the low points of it, and then I'll address why I liked it first, just so I can kind of, you know, recap some of the things that we talked about and why you initially laughed at me listening to it. So the low points was just the quality of the beats, the bang, and just kind of Lloyd Banks, just how he raps and just how he approaches it. The tone, the monotone and all that. But that's cool. I know I'm going to get that with Banks, you know, and sometimes beforehand when he had G Unit and he had the other, I mean, for some of the more known records that he's dropped plenty of projects since he's, you know, kind of got away from 50 Cent, and I get that. But for me, this has been a while since I've even checked for, you know, those Cold Corner and Y'all Don't Kill Me for, you know, the series that he had that everybody covets as far as a good projects from him or whatever. But I fell off from Banks. I fell off from the punchline rap or as he's navigated his way out of punchline rap, and I wasn't tapped in. So finally, after not listening to Lloyd Banks for such a long time, I listened to this and I'm like, yo, this is the Banks. This is a grown-up Banks, and this is the type of Banks that I would want perspective, just really speaking on where he's at in life right now. And I couldn't imagine in 2003 hearing Banks like this, saying some of the same things, like talking about fatherhood, talking about just different relationships and different things and how they affected him. And to me, this was like his full circle moment as an artist. So as I'm listening to it and he's giving me the bars and he has the features, I mean, Empathy with Freddie Gibbs, he got Rock Marcy on here, Benny the Butcher, Styles P, and these features are fire too. Like as far as the artists delivering very dope ass verses, like I said before in the EPs, and I forgot exactly who we were talking about in terms of EPs and people showing up as far as the features, but every single feature that he had on there smoked this shit. And then Banks was doing this thing on here as well. I mean, Smoke and Mirrors was one of my joints. Stranger Things, Break Me Down, Falsified featuring Ransom, I didn't mention that. Empathy and Freddie Gibbs. Like I can go on and on, man. Like I could let this joint go all the way through. And again, this is 18 songs. This is like one of them old school, you know, mid 2000s type of projects, and it resonated with me. I hadn't heard him in a long time. When I did hear him, I really enjoyed it. And I can't say enough good things about it. People are on different sides of the fence. Either people really, really, really love this album or they have a real issue with it. And to me, it's like there's no in between, or I haven't seen an in between or a mid level, for lack of better words, take on it. Like that's the kind of, you know, impact that this project made. So it lasted the test of time with me. So that's where I'm at with it, man. So that Lloyd Banks Course of the Inevitable, check it out. And, you know, I can guarantee you guys are definitely going to rock with it and what Lloyd Banks has moving forward. So one last thing I will say is that I know he's forming a group with Vado and Dave East. Hope that goes well. I'm not yeah. I just hope it goes well. That's what I'll say. I'll keep it to that. I'll keep it to that.
Well, I listen to Dave East though, so I may like end up hearing him again sometime, somewhere down the road, right? But yeah, I keep saying, like, my whole deal is just like I explained to her why I didn't feel the album. I think I gave valid reasons why when I say like the tone, just the way he comes out. You got everybody else when they get featured on there is more evident to me than when they do like a little ad-lib or add a little something in the background. But with him, it's still just that same. And it's throughout that. But that may be what people like about it. That's just what I'm saying personally, like kind of takes me out of it. And I understand if I'm looking at the bar, you might as well just write the words. Do y'all want me to read it out loud? And I mean, that's kind of how I feel. Like it's got to grab you in other type of ways too. And that's part of the tone and everything that's going to go on there. So Cash love it. I respect his opinion. Everybody else love it. I respect their opinion. I'm like, oh, cool. I understand that record just wasn't for me. It's not going to reach everybody. You can't force it to reach everybody. It just didn't do it for me. But I ain't gonna sit here and shit on the album like it wasn't crap. It was just, like I said, the music just didn't resonate with me on everything. So bam, there we go.
All right, man. You up next, brother.
So at number 6, I'm gonna have Luca. When the Black Hand Touches You. You probably heard me mention this on my independent little part. Once again, like I said, once I heard this album, it was like in steady rotation. I don't know. It just gravitated towards me just on the grittiness, griminess of it. The songs that would stand out once again was Shutters, Negro Pie, Spree/Filthy, and just love the mix of the East Coast flow with the Southern slang and Southern stories up in there. Just gave it a different vibe and just refreshing just to hear a little bit. And no matter when I played it all the way through on the albums, and like it just never left the rotation all year. So I would implore you to please go listen to that. Luka, Lukah, When the Black Hand Touches You, and then he had one more that came out this year, and both of them were great. I think I got them off like Bandcamp originally, but then I know they're on the streaming services as well. So,
okay, respect it. He been promoting Luka heavily. So if it's coming from Prez and he got him on 2 lists, you know what I mean. You definitely might want to check it out. So he's often not wrong when it comes to his hip hop shit. So I definitely respect that. All right, for me, man, at number 6. Yay, with Donda. As much hoopla.
Cash. Say that again.
At number 6, for me, Yay, Donda. Jesus gonna post his bail tonight. Mr.
Donda.
Oh
Donda.
yeah, love.
You talking about that album?
Love the start to the album. What a
you love that intro.
Start. Love that. Set the tone. Will not derail me on this. It will not derail me on this. It set the motherfucking tone. All right. So, we haven't heard from Ye in quite some time, or, him doing it at Ye levels. You know what I mean? Everything from introducing the album in the stadiums and all that stuff, man, that was impeccable. It got you excited for the album. You heard different variations of the songs before you heard it. You had everybody got flown out to participate on the album, and you had like 70, 100 tracks on there. But I would argue, against that, or people that are against that, with, did you enjoy the music? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, did you have more than enough music to enjoy? I will say yes. Do I have to like every single song on here? I'm probably not. It's 27 joints on here. I mean, odds are I'm not going to like all 27. Prez just listed Pop Smoke all respect to Pop Smoke, but that had 20 songs on there. And if he can like 20 songs, I can like motherfucking 27. So here we are, right? Yeah, I was coming here. Because there ain't no way you rock with all 20 of them joints. You just feel really good about the ones that ain't there, but you let them resonate, you let them rock. All right, back to Ye. So there's several joints on here that I rock with often and I return to, man, and I like the mixture of him talking about his faith. Whatever you feel about his faith, I don't care. I enjoyed it. I like Jail, both variations with the Baby and Jay-Z. Off the Grid, man. 5-Yo Foreign left Earth on that joint, man. It's a lot of joints on here. Believe What I Say, Remote Control. I play Remote Control often. Keep My Spirit Alive. Tell the Vision, Pure Souls, Jail 2, Junior 2, Jesus Lord 2, like with the lock, like, man, the list goes on and on and on. This thing has a lot of replay value, and I'm still finding songs that I don't listen to often each and every time with this thing. So, and it's one of the biggest freaking albums that dropped that actually delivered. Don't care what you got to say about it. Like Ye or don't like Ye, I rock with it at number 6. I played it a lot, so it's on my list. It is what it is, man. It was music. It was music over a lot of things with this number 6 pick. So Ye Donda, man.
You're a goddamn hypocrite. You're a goddamn hypocrite.
Whoa,
you know that?
Why you say that?
You're a goddamn hypocrite.
Banks. Donda, I'm sticking to my guns, man. Anything I've talked about, I'm sticking to my guns.
No.
I ain't trying to please the people. I ain't trying to please the people.
Y'all got on to me about the J Electronica because it was damn near. It's a co-collaborator album. It's featured. If this thing ain't featuring every damn body, come on now. Don't
this
be changing
up.
Man.
Yeah,
let's talk about this. I don't know.
He set a precedent.
No,
he set a precedent since the first album.
No. He didn't do that. Like, it wasn't every song featured.
Yeah, you didn't know that. You may have not read the credits, but he did collaborate since the very first album, and we have documented history.
We ain't talking about ghostwriters. I'm talking about who's actually on the albums.
On the albums, ghostwriters putting it together, giving them a line. Whether you know, man? Was the music good? Because Pop Smoke had a lot of features too. God Bless the Dead.
I admitted that. Hey, no, I'm saying this is what I do. I said that don't bother me. This bothered y'all last year, so I want to know what have changed up.
Oh no! That's his first joint. That's his first joint, and he wasn't. He had Hove on here, man. The whole album. It's one person.
You just said
one person. One person. That's a collab album.
This is first. Come on,
one person.
With it, Cash.
That's one person. A whole album. Come on, man.
Cash.
That's like. Come on, you might as well put
Tell
Jay-Z.
the Vision on there. Tell the Vision is a quick. Don't listen to that whack version on Donda. Go and listen to it on the Pop Smoke. Sounds totally different, a lot better. Plays sonically.
It plays
the verse
well. It's his album. He put it together. He produced it.
The verse with Pusha T on it, that little part, and just having just Kanye at the very beginning of that. That sounded so much better than the version that we got on this Donda album.
It's a very well done album, man. Very well done album. It's jamming.
No, it wasn't. No,
Donda, number 6.
No, it wasn't. Not at all. Not
you're number
God
5.
got your bell tonight.
I'm spanking that ass. I'm spanking that ass so far. Number 5. Go ahead.
Get out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense. For real. All those damn features, and y'all wanted to come at me last year about J Electronica.
Who y'all?
Oh, you know who
it's a new year. It's a new year. It's a new year. We came at you about J Electronica. This is his debut album, and he decided to do his debut album with Hove. Come on, man.
Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about you. Well, I take your guy's favorite artist, and that's who's going to be my number 5 right now. Nas, King Disease 2. Even though Ye tried to talk bad about him and doing his interview, kind of slander him a little bit, saying like he ain't have no range. I beg to differ on this album, King Disease 2. I think this was way I talked about it earlier when it first came out. Was like, do y'all remember that album, that song that was on? He had on DJ Khaled saying, the album's done, and how momentous that sounded, and sound like it was going to lead into a great project, and then it led straight into that 7-track nonsense that we got from Kanye. This it seemed like the album that it should have led into, and this right here, man, from the time it plays to the time it ends, so when it goes out to Nas is good, just great music, great feel about it. Little upbeat Nas, then he had a little, he still had a storytelling up in there. So love this album all the way through. Constant playthrough ever since it's been in. Nas, even at this late in the stage, is one of the early hip hop legends, and still able to put out to this caliber. He done found a little thing with Hit Boy, and they're marrying up and just keep pushing out great music. And I want this series to continue, because one was decent. It was good. A lot of people are going to say it was like a masterpiece. I'm going to say this one I felt was better than that one. So where is it going to go? I don't know. I'm willing to stay along the course though to see where it's going to go from there.
Good pick, man. Good pick. I definitely could support that pick, man. Yeah, definitely rock with this project, man. Like a lot of replay value to it. A lot due to Nas being rejuvenated, and Hit Boy just giving him that injection, man. It's nothing like it when you have a project or an artist and a producer that really help offset one another with the motivation. So definitely rock with that pick, man.
Lauryn Hill track too. Lauryn Hill
that
actually stayed on the album. Once again, if we're gonna go to comparisons to Ye to Nas, you know what I mean? He got the pull to actually make sure that song stays on the album, not like Ye did in this earlier when we had to get the unofficial.
Yeah. I don't even want to remember that. This is a joyous occasion. Let's not talk about that Ye and Nas debacle, man. Anyway, at number 5 for me, Westside Gunn, Hitler Wear Hermes 8, Sincerely Adolph, Inside B. I'm putting them together. I don't care.
They was 2 separate projects, Cash.
I'm putting them together. I'm sandwiching them together, man. I can't decide. Hey, listen, this is where I got to throw my curveball into it, man. I'll put 2 for the price of 1, man. Hey, it's the same thing, same title. The only difference is Sincerely Adolph and Inside B. Ain't no big deal, right? Yeah, I ain't gonna kill you for that. Hey, man, look. In all reality,
he didn't call it deluxe, but you're gonna call it deluxe. You're gonna throw it up and then call it a deluxe.
It ain't a deluxe. It's an extension of the first part. Yeah, that's all it is, man. That's all it is. I'm gonna put that in there, and then that's what it is, man. But I really do. I mean, I enjoy this part again. Like Westside Gunn albums, love him, hate him, whether he raps or not, he curates a certain type of vibe when you're talking about music. And again, harkening back to my Larry June comparison, sometimes I just want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? And the shit that they're talking about as far as Griselda and Westside Gunn in particular, and him providing, and also like as a launch pad, because he too has a lot of features on here. So my last 2, Ye, Donda, you see these guys curating a certain type of sound. They don't have to be the guy on the entire album, but you still feel them on it. You know what I mean? So he introduced, a lot of Stove God Cooks on this joint. So Stove God Cooks is all over both parts, and I definitely rock with it, man. Like, it's just, I could let both of these joints rock out and go, man. Wessenheimer with Boldy James. Like, I'm not the hugest Boldy James, but even made me rock with Boldy James. You know what I mean? Sauce Walker on Westheimer. Jada Kiss on Right Now. And that's just the Sincerely Adolph joint that I can think of. And, like I said, Stove God Cook stole the show on the first one. But moving on into side B, you know what I mean? More the same, man. Oster Tag, Survivor Series 95 with Larry June and Jay Worthy. Jay Electronica on Free Cutter, Benny the Butcher and Conway on Hell on Earth Part 2. So these are just joints that I can let rock out, man. And if I'm having my Griselda moment, I'm going to get everything that I want in a Griselda sound. And everybody really joins his world and steps their game up. And I like that he's doing that. He ain't the best rapper, but he puts together some of the best projects, and that's hard to argue, you know, when we talking music. So that's my guy, man. Westside Gunn, number 5.
So what does it be, number 4 for me?
Number 4, yep.
Number 4. I'm gonna go with one of the elites of the moment. You know what I mean? One of the ones that's kind of standing out, that wasn't afraid of the Drake pressure that he put on the game. One of the first ones to kind of break that, to say, "Nah, I'm putting out my music and we're gonna rock with it." We're gonna go with J. Cole. The offseason. Weird way that we was going into 2021, coming off 2020, the promotion wise, J. Cole for this one, hey, he's on some team in Africa out there playing, right? I was going on, and then that leading into an album coming out. But what he was doing to build up over there for his basketball did not hinder his music at all. Like when it came out for this product, the 95 South coming on with the with Cameron, man. Now I told you, like when we first heard this, man, we need more of these Cameron type intros. And now since this happened, it seemed like Cameron to start putting out a lot more of those Instagram love videos and everything, showing a little bit of his person, and just like the stuff that he does. Like I'm liking that side of this that kind of got gained out of this as well. But then so 95 South, then you had 100 Mil, Pride is the Devil, the Climb Back, like all these, man. This whole album, he kept it kind of small and concise. It was like 13 songs, 12 songs, and all of them just perfect, just ride right through, flow all the way through. Like I said, it was a point in the time too where Drake at the beginning of the year was saying that he was going to drop and didn't really like release date. So it was like seeming like some of the bigger artists was kind of in like a standstill moment, and J. Cole was the one who went on out there and broke that. And ever since then, like this album, even after everybody released, I think it went from this to Tyler the Creator was going to be the great. Then it was the Kanye West or the Nas was supposed to outdo it, and then Drake. But after going through and playing through all those, I always come back to this one, and this is the one where I think that kind of separated J. Cole and put him in a different atmosphere over the other elites out there. When you come into it, I still wish we had got a Kendrick. I can compare it to a Kendrick dropping in the same year. Which one kind of stood the test of time? But right now, out of all those, when you tell me this, they all dropped in the same year, and I was feeling that J. Cole more than any of them. So, as a top artist in my books, right now, active going, it was J. Cole.
But he's not your number one.
He's not my number one. I'm saying out of those ones that you're going to talk about,
kind of a contradiction.
Nope, not no contradiction. I'm saying out of those ones, when the popular ones that people are going to come up there, because some of the other ones I may mention, they probably ain't in everybody else, the popular list, the ones that's going to know.
Okay, out of the
casual fans, casual fans would know. Right. You know what I mean? Just like saying who's J. Cole or Kendrick, that's the ones they're going to. Out of that, I think J. Cole kind of separated himself a little bit this year.
I think you landed safely on that one. That. I got you. No disrespect. Good pick, man. I'll talk a little bit more about that later because I have J. Cole on my list as well. As for me, man, number 5, my Haitian brother, Mac Hammy, would Pray for Haiti. Yeah, man. This project, man, is just immaculate to me. I was first introduced to him just because of just Westside Gunn. To be honest with you, like I had no background on Mac Hammy. No background on him. I was late to the game, late to the party. I know a lot of people that I follow mutually on social media. They already been vibing with him and rocking with him for a while back. So I was late to the game, and boy, was I happy to be late to the game, man, because just the bars and the intricate detail in his raps and just how off brand he is, you know what I mean? It sounds like a breath of fresh air, and all his projects sound like that, man. There's jewels in a lot of the lines, man, and just repping repping where he's from to the death, man, is just one of those things that, like, you know, makes me really look at that guy to where, like, I want to listen to see what he has to say. But as for the project as a whole, man, I haven't stopped playing this thing since it came out. Didn't know I was gonna like it as much, but I do, man. Criminal, Raw. What else do I like off here? Murder Season, the Stellar Ray Theory. Like, those are just 4 joints. In the 26th letter, of course, intro, that shit set the tone. Fire, had me interested from then on out. You know, definitely this joint, you know, is on Griselda Records, curated, you know, with the helping hand of West Side Gun. You know, what level of detail he was involved, I don't know, but I like that Griselda stink on it, you know, and he's gone on to drop several other projects that I like as much. And the only reason I don't have his most recent project that just dropped, which is called Balance Show, is because I haven't had enough time to sit with it. But that's another one that I'm heavily rocking with, and I got to sink my teeth into a lot more. But he's had a hell of a year. He's released a lot of his old stuff online, so I'm just catching up, loving what I'm hearing from the brother, man, and I'm looking forward to whatever he does in 2022. He had the joint that had a ill bop on the K Tronada EP that just dropped. So he's been having a great run. He's multifaceted in how he approaches the music, and I highly encourage y'all to go rock with him. He's different. I can liken him to, and I rock with Jay Electronica. I give Prez a lot of shit about Jay Electronica in the co-album that he rocked with last year with Jay-Z. But what I will say is, when those guys rap, when they have a feature, you hear it. Their presence is felt on the song. Whether you get what they saying or you don't get what they saying, it makes you listen a little deeper, and they say it in a fly way to where you want to try to understand it. And that takes me back to like my childhood days when I was listening to Wu-Tang, or I was listening to more intricate lyrics to where I was like, I have no idea what these guys are saying, but this beat is fire, and how they putting it is bananas together. So I want to learn more. I wanted to go do my research and look at the lyrics. So that's what I did, man. I felt like a kid again listening to this Mac Homie Pray for Haiti project. So I can't say enough great things about it. So that's my number 5, Mac Homie. Yeah, check him out. That's number 5.
That's number 4.
What's that number 4? That's that 4. Oh, that is 4. That is 4. You right. Number 4. I got them crossed out. I'm looking at my list. I ain't got my glasses on. Good. I'm old as shit.
Yeah, man. We know that's the way you look at things. Just like you want that Jay Electronica. Jay Electronica told you flat out, had Jay-Z on that featuring. He got that in the credits. Kanye goes and hide it. He just say every song's Kanye West, and you magically say he got the greatest album ever. There you go right there. So
he was like, what, 7, 6, 8 on my top 10. You fighting me on it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, wait, man. I shouldn't have been up in that dog. Shouldn't have been up in that dog.
We in the top 3 now, right?
Yeah, top 3. Number 3 for me. Number 3 for me is a straight feel type album. I'm telling you, this is my hype song. This is my gym song. This is my Friday. This is my I ain't got time to listen at you. Fuck you song. But fuck you album. You know what I mean? Like this one I put on when I'm in that zone and I just need to. I'm on another level. Young Dolph and Key Glock, Dumb and Dumber 2.
Rest in peace.
This has been the one for me this year. It has gotten the most play, like just constant. Like anytime I'm in one of those settings. Minute Friday hit and I get off work, bam, putting this on. Minute I go to the gym and I'm like, I'm slacking a little bit, throw this on, bam, got it, you know? So just they braggadocious type rap, you know what I mean? The straightforwardness, just everything about this album. I like the team up. I don't almost remember Dumb and Dumber 1 on this right here, but I mean, this Dumb and Dumber 2 has been unforgettable in my opinion as far as them. Man, yeah, I liked it. Rich Slade, Young Dolph album last year and everything, but I mean, this one it just felt different. It was different to me. Just listening at this one over and over and over and over again. I know, Cash, I know you probably got something to say about that as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I love Dolph, man, and his music I have for a while, man, and you know, just everything about his independent grind, man, and well before his untimely passing, man. Like we talked about this album. We even made it a point to put a video and all that out about us covering the album because we really liked it a lot. You know what I mean? It just didn't make it to my top 10, but I'd be a liar if I said in those settings, what you talk about in the gym, when I'm on I want to listen to music at ignorant levels, you know what I mean? And just not hear anything, not saying with substance, but I just want to hear that Southern in your face shit. I just want to hear that shit. Like, you get it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, that's just what it is, man. Sometimes I don't want to hear, the deep thoughts or whatever. I want a guy that gets right to it. And that's what him and Key Glock did, man, on this, man. And they complement each other very well, family in real life. So yeah, man, I can't say enough good things, man. Aspen, King's Clothes.
Ice motherfucking cold.
yeah, is my shit. What's the other one, man? A Goat and a Dolphin. Like, man, those guys, man, like, these titles are like
coordinate. Yeah, man. Just
hashtag. Like, these titles are hilarious, man. You know what I mean? But what you see is what you get. How could I forget about that one, man? Baby, what you see is what you get. like they was doing a thing, man. And the dope part about it is, like, they really, you know how when people be lying in their raps, but it still sound good, but you don't really know if it's true. What Dolph is talking about is true, and how, like, again, rest in peace for what people say, as far as, like, he was talking about smashing dudes, baby mothers, and all type of disrespectful shit, and I enjoy it. I gotta admit, I enjoy that type of shit, man. I was on that type of time once upon a time in life, man. Not right now, but again, man, like, I like when guys is just, no holds bars, unapologetically them, yo. So this was one of the ones, man. I really, really did enjoy Dumb and Dumber, man. And I don't have this guy on my list, but if I can just throw him out there because he gave me the same feeling as Dumb and Dumber 2, ESTG with Bigger Than Life. So
hold up, how you sneaking in free ones?
I'm just saying.
Fall in on your top? Where does he fall in on your top 10?
I'm not discussing them. I'm just giving you some Southern shit.
You either give a man the respect, put him in on your top list, or you
ain't make it, man. I talked about other people who ain't make it on my top list. Cut me some slack, man. We listen to a lot of shit. I like a lot of shit, man. Everybody can't be in the top 10. You had the tough decisions had to be made. All right, the tough decisions had to be made, man.
You can talk about your honorable mentions on the honorable mentions part. Like,
okay.
Either you're gonna throw him in at your number 3.
Honorable mention. He ain't in my top 3. In my top 3. All right. Are you ready for my number 3?
Number 3, let's go.
Staying true to who I am, man. Tyler, the Creator, Call Me If You Get Lost. I love, for the time he dropped this project, man, like, he don't get his respect. Tyler, the Creator, does not get his respect, man, and I loved every last second of this project. He went in all different type of lanes, man. Let me pull up the track list and let me tell you the ways. Let me tell you the ways and how I love this album. Got to put Perez back on so I can see his face. All right, man. So Corso, Lemonhead with 42 Doug. Lumberjack, Hot Wind Blows featuring Lil Wayne. He had Wayne just spitting like the old Wayne on there, just spitting just some ridiculous shit. And You Can't Lie, Prez. You know you like that song. I ain't gonna let you steal my thunder here though, man. So Run It Up, that's a dope one. He also had one with Pharrell on here called Juggernaut. I mean, listen, this is a no skip for me. I can let this rock. I let it play on plenty of road trips or whatever, and that's probably why it sits well with me. I had some of my best road trips listening to this joint, man. And I highly encourage you guys, if you haven't rocked with this Tyler, the Creator project, go do that. And man, again, man, I haven't been the biggest Tyler, the Creator fan since listening to his music, but this dude is growing on me. He is really, really, really growing on me, and I love this body of work. So that's my number 3, man. Call Me If You Get Lost, Tyler, the Creator, man. Produced the music by him. I mean, all the things that Prez doesn't really, you know, that gave me shit about my Ye decisions and all that. Tyler put this one together, man. Tyler put this one together.
Look, Tyler got the album of the year for now, but Pop about to drop. I see the platinum in the clouds.
And he ain't drop shit. And he ain't drop shit. Like don't put Pusha against me, man. Don't put my man, one of my favorite guys, against me. But he ain't drop shit in 2021. Rest in peace to his moms. You know what I'm saying? I know he's going through some real shit. You know, on the real side of things. So, but yeah, man. Number 3, Tyler the Creator, man. It's on you, Prez. You got any more?
No. You're not gonna get off that easy. We got to talk about this.
Get off.
We gotta talk about this.
I can explain myself on this for days. What you got?
Okay. I think you're still slowly going in the direction that I went, and I ultimately went on there. We're gonna see how the rest of your list play out. But I was a little bit more honest and forthcoming about mine than seems like you are. But Cash, like you saying, we know a thing or two about us. You know what I mean? Like when something is jamming, you throw it out there. When something's really jamming and you're really feeling it, you throw it out there 3 or 4 times. You just like, I don't understand why you ain't doing this. Like you should feel this album. You did that shit to me with the Donda album. You made me listen to it several times. We had to listen to several interviews explaining why I should like it. We had to speak on all that.
That's why it seemed like that.
But now with this Tyler, I heard about it one time and I ain't heard nothing else about it since.
You don't like Tyler the Creator from years past. You don't really listen.
I don't like Tyler the Creator.
You don't really listen to him like that. I've never heard you talk about him. He's never been on any of your lists as long as I've known you.
Does that mean I don't like him? I just feel like he had a top 10 album.
That means that's not a guy that I'm gonna come say, hey, go listen to him because it's, you know, exercise in futility. Like you're not gonna listen.
I think you're trying to get yourself out of this little hole you done dug.
You go, boy. Like Neo.
No.
Bitch, man.
Tyler the Creator has not been one of those guys you champion. I haven't heard you champion in other.
You didn't do that with Big Sean either. Last year you had Big Sean damn near as your top guy.
If we would have allowed it,
that was Big Sean was at your end of the year list, and you had never listened to Big Sean. So why I can't have my Tyler the Creator moment?
But I know I came back and I was telling y'all, y'all got me rethinking this Big Sean. I said that several times.
We do too much, man. I'm busy. I'm exec P. I produce a show. I ain't got time to hand carry it like I used to. You know, like I used to. I used to have time for the petty arguments. I ain't got time for them all the time.
Hey. And like I said, ain't none of this against Tyler the Creator. If he made a good album, you feel like it's a good album, I'm just calling Cash out on his shit.
Man, listen, man. This is a good body of work. I jam to it all the time, man. Like I said, man.
What's number 1?
My number 1, I still got 2 and 1, man. This is my 3.
Okay, what is it?
That's it. This is. Are you next, man? You got to do 2.
No. I'm saying, what was your number 1 song on the album?
Man, which
one should I go listen to?
If you go listen to anything, man, I would probably say "Hot Wind Blows" first. But I think you're gonna the joint. I think it's Corso or Sir Borderline where he just comes out with the and what do you say, bench truck roll up. It just got one of these hard ass bass lines as far as just the intros, man. So I think you will rock with it from the onset of it. Like it don't really get into the different sing-songy type shit until like maybe track 7. So the first 6 joints are just all rap shit. Just him showing he can fucking rap.
And I'll tell you right now, I did like I think what you got me wrong at on the Tyler Creator was what was that? What's the name of that album? Flower Boy. I didn't really feel that one, and I was just like, I'm not liking the direction he went on that. And then the one that he just dropped right before this one, where he was on like that
Igor
Outcast, that Outcast
or Cherry Bomb,
that 3 Stacks type
Igor.
vibe, and I just wasn't really, so. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling that. And so, but his earlier ones before that, man, I really did like. So, no, we ain't gonna talk about that. Okay, ready?
Number two.
Number two for me, man, it's going to be another one that I have been championing all year long. And despite what everybody else says about it, I keep saying like this album is perfect for me. It got everything sequencing wise going through, just immediate playthrough all the way through. They cared about that. Every song flows into the next. Don't make you want to turn it off. A little bit more of an arrogant type flow. Kind of almost has a early Kanye West vibe. If that his sound was able to evolve naturally and not just him getting a new ghostwriter and writing some other bullshit for him and changing up his sound completely. This is IDK, and you see
break it down.
You see for yourself, right? Right off the jump on this, man, it has like a little skit. The skit is kind of skippable. I will admit that, but it kind of leads up into it like a little crash, and then bam, he takes you on an adventure from that point on forward. Santa Monica Boulevard, Dogs Don't Lie, Truth, Prada Bad with Young Thug. Really love that song. Shoot My Shot with Offset. Then you had Red. That was the one that I sent you that had like an MF Doom in the background with the J Electronica, and then it had the Big Timers little beat switch. That's the song that you used to always jam to in the background, that little beat switch on there. Puerto Rico with Lucky Day, Temporary Love with Sir, 10 Feet with T-Pain, Keto with Sway Lee, Peloton. Yeah. And all these have like a catchy tune to it that you can kind of like rock with. Like I said, he comes off with that old arrogant Kanye type rapping style on there, which I still liked on there. And just replay value. And then when I play it with the wife, like she don't like everything on it. She'll jam with it. So it has that little crossover appeal that way too. So
shout out to Mr. Prez's wife, aka the A&R of his musical thoughts. Go ahead, man.
I mean that gets you bonus points if if the wife kind of like signs off, I'm like, okay, it's pretty good. So you know what I mean? That's because me and her thoughts are so like different. You know what I mean? So if I say something that's good and she's like okay with it, then it's just like, okay, I know this can translate into multiple different people. That's kind of how I gauge her off of. That's what I really use the wife for.
Yeah, you got the appeal, the widespread appeal, or mass appeal.
Yeah. But I told you about the album. I don't know if you really listened to it, but I know you probably said it wasn't your cup of tea. But I know other people that I put on that they don't really know about them. But then it's like, oh, yo, man, this jams. I like this, man. I've been rocking with it. So
yeah. I remember my man Tuck hit me about it. It's like, yo, I mean he seldom hits me about an album. So if it's an album he really likes, he'll text it to me or whatever. And this was one of them. And I was like, I just didn't hit for me. But it was good. It was good. I do remember it being good. I do remember being impressed. I just, I don't remember falling in love with it. You know what I mean? I remember being like, oh shit, I never listened to him outside of features on other artists' projects. Like I've seen the name, heard him, seen him out there, but I wasn't, familiar with his work. So, kind of when it comes to that, this is going to be a guy that I have to now, as with our history and listening to music, okay, you put me on to him now. He's high on your list. I'm going to go back and listen to it. Go listen to some other joints that you say are his best work. You know what I mean? Hit me with the playlist on one of these off weeks that I'm sure we're going to have in this lull of 2022 to begin with. If it doesn't start with a bang with some of the more prominent artists dropping albums. So and I'm going to check it out, man. So I'll respect the opinion. Yeah, for sure.
I would be doing this album a disservice if I made a playlist for this, because I'm telling you, the dude paid closely attention to sequencing. Every song flows into the next. It sounds great as just a listen through. I'm telling you, just go listen after that. If you don't appreciate like all his little rhyming, you will appreciate the way he sequenced and like put the album where everything kind of flows in that way. So what's that production value? I guess I'm talking about his production value on that is high in my opinion. Yeah, Cash, like I'm saying, like the guy just has like catchy tunes, and I think it kind of rocks. It's more of an upbeat type tone, and then So if this is kind of where like some of the underground rap and stuff that we listen to, they have that street tone constantly. Like you need something to get you upbeat. You gotta have that little switch up. You can't just go around like that grimy all damn day. In my opinion, you gotta have sometimes.
I don't want to hear street shit all the time. I just don't, man. You know, I mean,
so these are as you can tell, these are the ones I'm like my like my resets. These the ones that get me refreshed and like ready to go. Like so that was the IDK and the Young Dolph. Like anytime I need a reset on anything, if it's more like the poppy tones and stuff like that, it would be the IDK. You see for yourself, it's more just like that upbeat gutter. Like that's gonna be like the
balance. Yep. I feel you, man. I'm the same way, man. At a certain point, I get tapped out on a certain type of style that I'm listening to, and when that time comes, then I'm not able to receive other people. You know what I mean? That people are putting me on to, and then I'm like, because it sounds the same as the people I like, so it's like it's no real thing that you're saying that's blowing me away.
Distinguish. You need that palette reset. These are like those palette resetters. Great additions to add in, you know?
Yep. All right, man. So as for me, man, number 2, we getting down to it. Nas is King's Disease too. So I mean, it's right where it needs to be. You know what can I say about this album that hasn't been said by you? A whole lot. I'm just joking, man. But but no, man, King's Disease 2, man, it's just like I didn't think that they'd be able to follow it up with something that's this dope that still has Nas spitting like he is the ageless one. You know what I mean? Like this dude is freaking 50 years old and still just sounds as refined as ever, and that's, you know, thanks in part to Hit Boy. So I really, really rock with this album, man. I remember when it dropped and, you know, the fanfare and the love that it was given in real time online. And, you know, I didn't fall off from that. Like it didn't just resonate with me just off the hype of Nas and Hit Boy dropping something, telling us like maybe a week or two or a couple days, and then it dropping, and now, you know, it's here and we're listening to it, and I'm rocking with it. So moving forward, a couple months later, man, I go back to it, and I've been going back to it with favorite songs, but I've started listening to these albums in totality when you're talking about these top 10s and the sequencing and all the things that we've been talking about along this whole episode, man. And, you know, just some of the songs that I didn't even like couldn't stand EPMD 2, Eminem and EPMD. I like it a lot more now. Rare, 40 Side. You know what I mean?
You didn't like EPDM? That was like immediate. Like, well, I was wondering, but I know your dislike for, like, you don't really feel like Slim Shady like that. So I kind of.
No, it's just sometimes he come on a song and he don't stay with what the song is about. It seemed like sometimes. You know what I mean?
You're Rick Ross. That's what you're also conflict with Rick Ross.
He just be throwing it off sometimes. Yeah, sometimes he be throwing it off. Yeah, sometimes he throw it off. But in this instance, I was totally wrong. You know what I mean? It was just the switch up, and I would say he overcomplicates the flow when I don't need all that. I just need come in, give me a dope ass verse, and get on out. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to do the extra M shit, and I don't know what better way to explain that. That's the only way I can explain it. Like M is always extra on these records, you know what I mean? And I know it's Nas. I know you're rocking with a legend, so I get it, you know. But upon further listen, upon further review, I rocked with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And these are songs, YKTV with A Boogie with the Hoodie. Everybody knows I love A Boogie with the Hoodie. Go check out his EP. He just dropped, by the way.
Yeah, he just dropped an EP that was nice too.
Yeah. Even the YKTV, like I like the different being able to go back with an A Boogie with the Hoodie, who is like damn near 30 years, you know, younger than Nas, you know what I mean, but still being able to do that. And they did that on the first King's Disease, where I think Fabio Foreign, he had a joint with him as well on there. So, but Store Run Moments, Nobody, it'd be hard pressed to find a better 3-song just, you know, stanza, man. and just, and out of all these albums, like just back to back to back to back, you know, where it was just like, these are things that, you know, classic artists make, man. I love this project, man. So my Bible is, you know, one of the very last songs on here. Nas is good. Sorry, it's the last song on here, and that one is one that I come back to often because, you know, you need those moments in those songs where you just have something that you play that gets you back going, because that's what music does for all of us. So, you know what I mean? Like you listen to music to get to feel something, and if you could still feel something at, you know, our big age, you know, 30 you know, I'm not gonna say your age because you 40-ish, but yeah, I mean, at our big age, man, when we can still feel something, you know, and it's not overly complicated, it's not overly wrapped, it's just us being in a certain place in our life, and I can understand what he's saying. I can just totally
bro,
get it.
That song, like it rocks in that setting to you. And then anytime like I'm in a workplace and I feel like somebody threw a shot at me, and I just be like, you know what? I ain't even gonna worry about that.
No,
good,
yeah,
bro.
I'm good. Like, good. I'm straight. Everything good. My paper good.
What can I help you out with? Nothing. I'm good.
Yeah. I lose this job. I don't need this. I'm just working because I don't want to be at the house. You know, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get passed over for something. I'm good, man. My family's healthy. Everybody's doing good. You know what I mean? We maintain it. Like, that's all those things that, like, just that song now is good, sits with me well. You know what I mean? And you know, and just being from New York, yeah, man, it's just love to see the legends still doing their thing, man, and rapping at a high level, putting out Grammy-esque type material, man, and resonating with people from all ages. So, you know, shout out to Stillmatic. It was just the 20th anniversary of that. I was listening to that. Also, shout out to my man I Am God, man. He was just posting a lot of lyrics on Twitter yesterday about it, and that shit made me go back and listen to the album. And just, you know, Nas, man, I hate that Jay and Nas thing even happened, man, because, you know, I'm from Brooklyn and I was heavily, you know, a Jay stan, but, you know, it's just so much good Nas music over the years that I was kind of just, you know, lukewarm on whatever, because I was, you know, Rockefeller stan. But, you know, fast forward to now, man, it's just great music, and he's still doing his thing. Shout out to Hit Boy, and hopefully, like you said earlier, we get to hear something else from them, or maybe if they don't drop a full project, Hit Boy is still executive producing it, and, you know, they enlist somebody else dope, you know what I mean, to do something with Nas. So King's Disease.
I love Stillmatic, but Godson too is that, I think that was that one that was like, for me, like, I really love that album as well.
Yeah, I love Godson as well, man. Like, just, yeah, man, he got a lot of joints as you go back. I think for Nas, man, and this is just me, Perez, the older I get, the more I appreciate Nas. And that's just it in a nutshell, man. Like, just so many things he's saying matter now. It always mattered. I wasn't trying to hear it. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, like, nobody was trying to hear this bullshit Sharif, like all of the deeper lines and deeper meaning and what he was saying about our blackness and being kings and blood of a slave, heart of a king, all that shit that I didn't really necessarily give a shit about at the time. Now it's even more impactful. So again, man, I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. Off my Nas soapbox. Nas King's Disease Part 2. Check it out.
Okay.
All right, man.
Cash.
Top one. Where we at?
Let me get right for this. Let me set the stage.
Okay, it's all yours, man. It's all yours, man. Just let me know. Let me know when you.
So every so often you got like these albums that's not gonna resonate with everybody else, right? They because they don't know about them. But eventually, when they come along and they hear these albums, they're immediately like hooked on these and they come from like the deeper cut artists within the group and sometimes like this, right? So one that rings to mind is just like East Point's greatest hits, right? With Cool Breeze, right? So
Yep.
Remember that one, like Ghetto Camelot and all this, like, and everybody was on the Outkast and then the Dungeon Family and then him being a member of that. But like one album in and out done. You can always go back to several cuts on there that you like and everything. And everybody's like, man, that was a good album. Didn't really produce nothing much after that, right? But it was there. It was there, man. And you can always go back to it and you put that on with some people, and some people will be like, oh, that shit was tight. You know what I mean? And it just miss out on those every once in a while, right? So this time this year, man, I know it's some people. I ain't gonna be putting some people on. I know it's not. I know some people are tapped in and listen at this, right? What I'm coming into is Rick Hyde, man, Plates 2. This album, from the second I hit play on this thing, coming in with the poetry, right, and then going into the story mode immediately off there, and then got his little feature sprinkled in with the rest of the crew, right. But from start to damn finish, great body of work, man. And out of all the albums I done listened to this year, this is the one that speaks to me the most. I go to Nas, King's Disease and stuff like that. I felt that album. I remember I was telling you this, like, I'm really feeling that album, man. But you know what? I went back and listened to that Plates 2 again. I don't know. I told you this like 2-3 months ago, right?
But you did. Yes, you did. Yes, I remember those conversations, and I was like,
and I was just
really
saying, I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I told you about it. I think
and I was
to
just
begin with. Yep. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. You still going back to it.
Just coming off that alone, the Sarah freestyle on here, man. Hustler Player, Glorious Morning. Like, man, this. I know I said this about several albums on here, but it has been completely true about those. The way everybody got back into crafting a full album this year and making it so it's not just chasing a hit or something like that. It's complete playthrough. It's more that they're concerned about the quality of the music and what they putting out and how it's going to stand over the test of time. I think that came back around in the mix, and this is the pinnacle of it for me. That Rick Hyde Plates 2. Definitely go check it out. Play it. More of the street type vibe type of a deal. But I mean, I guarantee if you're a hip hop head, you will love this album.
You ain't never lied, man. Again, this is on my honorable mention list, but if you allow me to, I want to say a few words on this, man. Red Moon Rising, Sarah freestyle, like you mentioned, the intro with the poetry to just that churchy vibe, just, you know, that it was a street sermon, man. It was a street sermon to me. Like, it was just one of those, like, and then the conviction that he was spitting with, I could hear the hunger. I could hear him wanting to step out and be recognized as an artist. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times when you get your man's man that's being put on, like, you know, if you guys don't know who we talking about, who Rick Hyde is, you know, he's, you know, he rocks with Benny, BSF, you know, and he's coming out of that camp in Griselda, you know. So sometimes when you do have guys in that position, it's an uphill battle, man. Like, people like your verses. You may have a cool verse here and there, but all right, cool. Can you deliver an album? Can you deliver a body of work that makes you valuable when we do a tour? Because that's really what it is, right? Because when Griselda popped, Benny got hot, Conway was shaking already, Westside was already doing his thing, and then you had those three that can go on tour and do their own thing. But now when you have BSF, boom, you know what I mean? Like, now you got Rick Hyde, Benny, and, you know, whoever else comes under that camp now, you know what I mean? But he carved his lane. He'll be able to play a lot of those records or do a nice 10 song set if he's even doing 10 songs before Benny comes on. I say all that to say this. I was highly impressed with this shit. If you it ain't even all street shit. Would you agree, Prez? It ain't even all street shit.
Yeah, no. It's not. It's more some of the introspective type shit too. So there you go.
Yeah. And that's what did it for me. It was the introspective shit to where, okay, you was a street dude, but you took a lot of personal losses that we all can relate to. It's all, you know, and that's the art of it all, right? Is when you're an artist and you're doing you're heavily into the street shit and in the bars and all that and talking heavy, I get it. But at the same time, can you resonate to the common man like President who are not into street shit, who like to listen to it, but not necessarily into it? And I think that's what Rick Hyde did with Plates too. It came out of nowhere. I highly encourage you guys to go check it out, man. Like this is a really, really good body of work. And, you know, Prez jumped out there and put it on his list. And that's dope, man, because I didn't have the courage to do it. I didn't say it doesn't resonate with me as much, because it does, because I listen to it a lot, but it was on the outside looking in. But a lot of joints on here. Mama Love, he got Killer Cali on here. Like I never expected to see that combination. He has Skyzoo on here. Of course, you have Benny the Butcher and Westside Gun. So Keisha Plum as well. So they kept it all in the camp for the most part, but dope body of work. Go check it out. I can guarantee you guys will become new fans of Rick Hyde.
Appreciate you for explaining that and like going a little bit forward. I know that's going to be a little different from everybody else's list, but hey, that's just all honesty right there. Do I feel strongly for it? Would I go jump on the damn table about it and say this shit is the best shit out this year? Yes, I will. And I'm doing it right now. So I know it's not that Nas, it's not the J. Cole, but I put them where I thought they fit in my list that was going forward. And then best album out, listening wise, to me, was that Rick Hyde Plates 2. So let's hear your number one.
J. Cole, the off season. That was just too easy, man. That's the one, the guy that, like you said, Prez, I'm gonna steal some of your stuff. He came out the gate. One of the first ones that came out the gate. I love the rollout and everything about it, but at the end of the day, we had to get to these bars and get to this music. I was concerned about whether J. Cole was doing too much. You know what I mean? Like that rollout was a bit much, but it was dope at the same time. So I was worried, but when the music came on, I never feared. A lot of people say shit about J. Cole, the boring shit. Like, I hate that narrative. I think that shit is a lot of the internet thing, as far as that goes.
We said it too when it got to that folding clothes shit.
That shit was that was whack. That wasn't boring. That shit was whack. I want to fold. This ain't about that. Okay, you brought me. You see how you took me back?
I wasn't gonna let you go down that path.
Immediately. I got upset. I got angry.
We know. We know we went to that damn concert, and as soon as he started playing that set, we was like, all right, let's go get some drinks, man. We good.
For your eyes only, and I don't even think I went back. Oh man, I didn't even care to get back to the front of the line. Oh man, this is hate, man. This is hate, but this is a glorious moment, man. J. Cole's number one with the off season. Damn it, Prez. Damn you, Prez. You know you throw me off, man. But anyway, so yeah, he started this off, like you said, Cam killed that shit. I really, I still to this day, where's the Cam verse? I know Cam had to spit a verse. Like, Cole, how cocky you gotta be to not let Cam get off on here, man? Let Cam get a cool 8, man. You know what I'm saying? But I love the shit talking part of it. Set the tone, 95 South, super fire, man. And then he went into a string of not missing. This is 12 joints. Hit myself with the mic, man. Pause. 12 songs in a row, man. Dope shit. No skips. This has no skips whatsoever, man. Close is one of my favorite songs on here. And again, like, this is like my take me out whenever I'm down or I'm feeling a certain type of way about whatever I'm striving to attain, whatever that may be, and now I'm pushing for. Close is one of those songs I go to, similar to how I was talking about Nas is good in the previous, is my number 2 with King's Disease 2. So that's one of them songs. Let Go My Hand, that's another dope one. 100 Mil, Still on My Grind, motivational joint. You can bump that in the gym. Again, different pockets. Punching the Clock, the joint with Black, Interlude. Like, there's a lot of different pockets on here, and you know, I'm not even looking up the production. I didn't go to that level of detail with this project. I never had to. I never cared because I enjoyed the music to the point where I didn't even want to look too much more deeper into it. So this is just this is my album of the year, man. I kept coming back to it time and time again since it came out. Hasn't left the rotation since about April, May time frame. And again, man, Hats off to J. Cole for the entire rollout. Dreamville, what they're doing with expanding their roster. They dropped a lot of projects this year too as well. So the off season, I can't wait to see what spawns from this with him. You know, does he drop next year? You know what I mean? Does he have another one in the can, or do we have to wait a year and a half? Who knows, man? But with so much in the world going on, man, this is one of those projects to where it shifted the culture. Everybody stopped what they was doing. Same way where I felt that shift with Nas, and there's a few others that dropped, Ye and Drake as well.
Stop
like
it.
those, that's what happened.
Stop with the lies.
It did. They stopped, Prince. It did.
Everybody stopped. All the stands was there to comment. They was there to comment and try to drive the narrative.
Were they not busy? Were they not busy with life and stop what they was doing to come wherever they was and troll and say something positive and negative?
Man, keep on going with your J. Cole so we can go ahead and I can talk about that and we can go ahead and move forward because I got some stuff I want to say about it. Go ahead. My fault for derailing you.
You ain't derail me.
Stop shit.
You ain't never gonna be able to derail me, baby. I'm stick around, man. But yeah, this is fire body of work, top to bottom. Can't say enough great things about it. Tons of great artists dropped this year. I've listened to a lot of music. You know, haven't been able to really sit down and settle with a lot of artists that we may be forgetting. So again, like we said, drop a line in the comments, drop some music. Let's spread some love, not hate, man. Like this let's debate gracefully. Let's debate gracefully. I'm willing to sit down and do that. But if I haven't listened to it, you got it. I'm gonna listen to what you give me. You listen to what I gave you. Hopefully some of these people that I had on my list isn't on your list. Make you go back, check for it if you respect my musical opinion. And I'm going to leave it at that, man. 2021 was a dope year. I can't wait till, 2022, man. And, more blessings and more love to you all, man. I love doing this shit, man. I'll leave with that.
Well, we can't, because I got something to ask. I got to ask you a question about that.
Okay.
So, as it all come down to it, you still got to the same point I got to when we talk about who was the top. J. Cole was the top on those elite type artists, and then I mentioned a couple other ones after that wasn't in that already popular rapper mindset. You know what I mean? Or the pop mindset of what rap is, like the easy go to spitters, the Kendricks, J. Cole, Drake. You know what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying out of that, right? So, but you're still ending up that same way. And now I have to think that this is going to later lead into further debates when they sit there, because everybody does it, make these lists and who is the greatest little deal. And it's going to be that Kendrick in the mix with all these right now. And right now we're saying above all those, when they all came out in the same year, J. Cole was the top. So when the competition was there, he stepped up and it lasted. His work was the top of that year. That's what we're saying. We agree to that, right?
Says a lot.
We agree to that. Now, Kendrick is one of those people. You're going to say he the LeBron of this situation, right? The dude want all the accolades and he's going to get all this well-deserved. So he's still like a star in his own mindset and everything. But it's hard to like come up here and debate with people when you got Jordan who done got all this and then also won the dunk competition. You got Kobe who already did all this and also won the dunk competition. But anytime when it's put on one-on-one basis, not a team thing, LeBron makes his team better, but when it's put on a one-on-one basis, we have not seen that person where we can evaluate. Like in that one-on-one situation, he stood above all. And that's kind of why I'm saying, like when it comes to this Kendrick little deal, everybody else dropped in this 1 year. And we can kind of evaluate where they moved, where their music landed that year and say, like at that point in time, J. Cole was the top. Now Kendrick drops next year, shit probably going to be fire. Just like I'm saying, like LeBron ain't no slouch of an athlete. Like the dude is amazing. You know what I mean? But this is how you're able to pick those holes and everything in it. And I would have loved for Kendrick to drop this year. So to make those debates kind of all said and done, where you can always come to one moment, well, this is when everybody dropped and this is what we felt was the top album. You know what I mean? And now you're going to have that kind of teeter-totter, you know? So I'm just little disappointed that he didn't drop within the year where we can kind of evaluate all that together.
Do you think that, and I got all types of reasons why I think he didn't, but do you think that, like I saw something online, man, this is Overtime, this Overtime with DSE podcast. I saw something online about, Dreamville and, what was it? I think they put Griselda, not Griselda, but I think it was, anyway, they put record labels up, and TDE was one of them as far as just one of them labels that are elite and, people can't really mess with them. And to a certain extent, I agree. You know what I mean? But I don't know if anybody dropped this year a project from TDE in 2021. Do you?
Isaiah Rashad, sorry. So Isaiah Rashad is the only one out of that really, really dope roster that dropped this year. So do you think that they're too much of a perfectionist in that camp, or is just like multiple things going on with Kendrick about to roll out, Schoolboy Q, I'm starting to see him a lot more in the studio. Haven't heard from Ab-Soul in forever. SZA, like I thought SZA was gonna drop, but I saw some inklings of SZA dropping, but she never dropped anything. And who else? J-Rock. Ain't hear from J-Rock since 2019, I believe, or 2019 was when he dropped his project. So do you think like part of it is them really holding back for everything to be in its proper place? Like, it's typically when you get the end result of a Kendrick album, it feels immaculate almost. Like he doesn't have one close to being whack album out, even when you talk about the throwaways. So do you think it's just the TDE brand that is so hands-on with, we're not putting this shit out unless everything's right? Now, if you want to talk marketing wise and everything, I think this was a great move, right? It's a great move for the whole Kendrick off and not put him in the mix of all this right here, right? You want that extra, like you want that space in between that. You want him separated by this so he can move more units. You want it kind of devoid of the Kanye's and the Drakes, the Nas, because if you got that lane, you're getting all the listeners to fill in this if it's separated. So marketing wise, it's a great move. You know what I mean? But the way competitive that hip hop is, you know what I mean? I felt like it was like kind of a easy little cop out, because we finally had it this one chance where we can have all these, younger elites, you know what I mean? Not the Jay-Z's, but you know what I mean? That next generation that them come down that's with that, like I said, the Drake, the J. Cole's, the Kendrick Lamar's, all these ones, they could have all dropped in the same year, along with the person that they say and like kind of birthed their little style. A lot of them give credit to Kanye, all in the same little spot. How do they fare? And we could have got to J. Cole, but that go the Jordan versus AI. AI is in the same little realm as Jordan, so it kind of get overlooked on some things, because Jordan was still active, right? And then now you got Kobe's got a little active, right? And then now you got LeBron that's in the era of his own.
Yeah,
and you're going to have a whole new group of fans that kind of like separate themselves from this to that. Sure. And he don't show up on none of these lists, these top 10 lists that's going to be popping up on everybody's for the album and being shown as number 4 versus number 1.
But I think whenever Kendrick drops, nothing changes. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, so
that's what changes. You know what I'm saying? Optics changes. Like, because like I said, like if you had to make a list right now, Drake didn't fall on none of our lists. We like the album, but it's gonna follow my honorable mentions.
Yeah, it's honorable.
It's gonna follow my honorable mention. It's not up in my top 10 list. Like knowing that Drake dropped over there and he ain't in none of these lists, that kind of. Would you agree? Like marketing wise, that don't look good. And now Kendrick, if he was up in here and then J. Cole's was here and his is there, then.
But the sentiment,
you still good, but
the sentiment is out there though about the Drake album. You know what I mean? Like I'm on social media a lot, so the sentiment is out there that Drake did Drake on this project, but the sentiment is out there that it wasn't the best Drake album. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't the best Drake album. It wasn't a bad album. It was just something that is not memorable. When we talking about his catalog, you know what I mean? And you definitely don't want to be in that market, but the dude still sold a shit ton of records, had a moment, you know, for that time frame, and he will be in a lot of people's top 10 this year. We just call it how we see it, and it just isn't better than the 10 that we gave, you know, personally. And I probably would have put maybe 2, 3, 4 other people ahead of Certified Lover Boy if I had to, with honorable mention, in terms of what I enjoyed. You know what I mean? And these are joints that have come out within the last month and throughout the year. So I mean, I ain't mentioned Plugs I Met. I ain't mentioned Sky Zoo, All the Brilliant Things. You mentioned Rick Hyde, Plates 2. I haven't mentioned Joel Ortiz's Autograph. Those are all projects that I enjoyed way more than Certified Lover Boy. And I like Drake. I'm not one of those guys that they'll say stupid shit because I don't like Drake for whatever reason. I listen to Drake music, always have. And I'm not afraid to say that. Like I think that's stupid when people like just want to pile on the cat just cause. But you know, it just didn't rack and stack up there with the top 10 this year. I'm pretty sure he'll make a top 20 list if somebody does something that expansive, but it ain't us. So it is what it is, man. Everybody can't make it. That's why it's our top 10 list. And again, man, you know, I enjoy the project. I go back to it and I pick several songs off there, and some of them songs will make a playlist. You know what I mean? Just not the album.
All right. I think it's all said and done. I think that was some nice little banter at the end, you know, to talk about it and talk about the elephant in the room, you know, with the one that did not drop, you know what I mean? Kendrick did not drop. We expect to see it in 2022. We know the little snippets that he did drop or the features that he was on this year, he did kill it. I don't think it's going to kind of sway us on anything, just like completely on the sway us on any of his music wise and everything. We know it's going to be jamming, know it's going to be one of those things, but it's just, would I have loved to see it? Yes, I would have loved to see him come out amidst everybody else.
Also have an EP for honorable mention that I wanted to mention before we get out of here. Dr. Dre, Grand Theft Auto EP. Have you heard it yet? I'll send you the link. Send you the YouTube link. It's only on YouTube right now.
Because he didn't want to drop it in the midst of his divorce? What's going on?
Hell if I know. I ain't dig that deep. All I saw was people talking about it. The only place you can stream this shit is on YouTube. Went right to YouTube. Shit fire, man. Okay. So I'll send it to you, man.
Okay. All right. And with that, man, that was a good year. You went the safe route. That's probably going to get you a couple points and everything, you know. I mean, yeah, you went with the bigger names. You jumped on you got all the stands on you. You got the Kanye stands. They're going to back you up pretty well. But when it all come down to it, Cash, we know the truth. Play your safe card.
Nas, Jay, Tyler, Matt, Kami, Isaiah Rashad.
Yeah, all the safe ones.
Yeah, Wale.
When we know you didn't listen to Tyler like that.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. Stand behind it. Can't tell you everything, man. Gotta say something for the end of the year wrap up, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's been real, man. Shit, we've been podding for about 3 hours. It may not seem like it to y'all, but it's been a good time. I think this will be our last one, man. We gonna chill for the rest of the year. Chop these up. They come out how they come out. You know, we'll talk about that later, man. But yo, happy New Year to you guys.
Happy holidays, period.
Happy holidays, all that. Yeah, for sure. We rock with y'all. Love y'all for rocking with us and sticking with us along the journey. It's only going to be bigger and better things in 2022. A lot of transitions. You know, I finally get back to the States next year at some point. You know, Lord willing, with everything's going on in the world. So, you know, man, you know, a lot of people have been lost. A lot of, you know, people going through it on the holidays. But, you know, hopefully people's spirits are uplifted and knowing that there's, you know, tomorrow's another day, man. So I just leave it at that. Just take it one day at a time. And, you know, if you are allowed to be around your loved ones, hug on them, cherish them, man. And if you're not allowed to be around your loved ones, call them, reach out. Don't be that stubborn person that's sitting there by yourself, or hang out with friends that invite you over. Don't stay by yourself if you don't need to, man. So again, happy holidays, happy new year, and all that good stuff. That's all I got, man. Prez, take us out, man.
Hey, everything that he said and much, much more. Take this time to, like he said, take care of your family, hug up on your family. This is what it's for. Don't get too lost in everything else that's going on. It ain't the stuff that's going to kind of stand the test of time. You know, you got to work to make your money, but don't let it take you too far away from your family as much as you can. So enjoy y'all holidays. See y'all next year. It looks like it's going to be a good one. Hopefully it's more like 2019 than it was 2020.
Sure.
When I seen that, it was like 2019 off the jump of the year, they came out with music right off the jump. So,
Yep. All right. With that said, this is episode 139, the 3-hour episode. We'll split them up, but y'all check us out, man. I can't wait for this to drop and the conversations to start. So, all right, man. Peace, man. I'll holler at you.
Yeah.